Action News, Delaware Valley's leading news program, with Scott Palmer, Dave Roberts, Lisa Thomas-Laurie, and Mark Howard.
Good evening. Mark and Lisa are off tonight. I'm Rob Jennings along with Monica Malpass. In the news, the first American casualty of the Bosnian peacekeeping mission proudly shows off his Purple Heart as he leaves Croatia on a stretcher.
And Russian authorities say their citizens are falling down drunk, dead drunk.
But the big story in action
yesterday that developed into severe weather, and are showing where we have this right now with the snow falling from Missouri across Ohio into New York State. This snow has come down all day long, and to the south some of the snow continues. Here's the path. We do have a low pressure area in central Tennessee. It's moving through the Tennessee Valley and heading towards the Virginia Capes. That is why we're concerned about the type of precipitation on the coastal areas of the Mid-Atlantic. Right now that low is moving to the northeast. All the gray and the white indicates a snow, although in Pennsylvania, you have seen a nice, healthy 1 to 3 inch snow. Much more is on the way. Snowing at St. Louis, you can see that on the corner of your screen. Snow continues across Illinois, Indiana, into Ohio, and we can take you even farther to the east to around New York City, and we can see the snow making its way on in. It's snowing across most of Long Island to New York City, snowing at Providence, over to Boston, but we have rain now at Harrisburg. A little bit of a changeover across much of the central northern Susquehanna Valley. A good 6 to 10 inch snowfall. Around Harrisburg, you may be somewhere close to that order of how much snow may fall. Here's the official forecast, and we are updating our forecast right now to include the period through tomorrow afternoon. So we continue.
This moisture and the Gulf of Mexico energy coming on into low pressure, spinning around, combining with that cold air coming down at upper levels, and you've got yourself a storm center, so you can thank, if you like the snow up north, you can thank the tropics in Florida and the Gulf of Mexico for all that. But look at the cold air with single digits just about brushing the northern border north of Burlington, Vermont. That cold air has settled on into Long Island and New York and even Rhode Island, changing any rain earlier to snow. But the warm air is still going to fight back overnight, and you're going to have a battle zone going on, probably some mixtures of snow, rain, and maybe even sleet and freezing rain, as we're seeing rain from Philadelphia to Harrisburg. But strictly snow, you could see the freezing line dropping through southern Missouri and on into Cincinnati, 30s into Texas after that light dusting of snow in Dallas and some light snow blowing around during the day today in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's cold in the Rockies, then all of a sudden west of the Cascades you get 50s and 60s, warms up very dramatically. But there's some action in the west too, with almost an Alberta clipper getting ready to form and move on down. Looks like some snow in the Wind River Range and on toward Yellowstone Park and all around the Beartooth Range in Montana. That's dipping on down as this low is just starting on its track out to the east, and you're probably going to get a coastal redevelopment east of the mountains. The cold air in place in the northeast, and it'll be pushing that warm air northward, but battling against that cold air coming on down from the south. Low moving towards St. Louis, tossing that snow into Indiana and Ohio and on into the northeast, but some tropical air with some very strong thunderstorms south of Atlanta in the last couple of hours, and even more so, even stronger, in parts of Florida. The snow showing up on national radar from Kansas and Oklahoma through southern New England and back on into the Rockies. The west kind of active, though, with an impulse of energy coming up and over that jet stream, then dive. Spreading rapidly on radar toward Albany, New York, and also Boston, Mass. Providence has been snowing pretty hard. And New York City mainly snowing right now out onto Long Island, although it's a wet snow on the island. And look at this, there's a a break in the heavy precipitation. Pennsylvania, we're getting a little bit of sleet forming along the Penn Turnpike. Don't be surprised if you get some freezing rain or freezing drizzle there, as often happens when the snow gets a little bit lighter. But then there's some heavy precipitation moving from Ohio into West Virginia, some fairly good accumulations in Ohio, and that's the next batch of heavy precipitation that'll move right to the East Coast tonight. But just plain old light snow around the metro right now, with maybe an inch in the grassy surfaces around New York City, down into northern New Jersey, rain in South Jersey and toward Philadelphia. And we're looking at that snow hooking back into Missouri, up to 6 inches or more around the greater St. Louis area, and up to a foot already in parts of Arkansas. Stay with us. We're going to have that 5-day planner coming up next.
Not it, Dave.
We all have to think about it. We all have to face it, Monica. We've had rain here most of the day, on and off a little sleet or freezing rain. Folks to the north picked up a little more snow earlier. We showed you the situation out there in Paoli. And also in Allentown. It's Tuesday, the second day of brand new year, 96 here. The 5 o'clock numbers, present temperature reading at 37 degrees, humidity close to saturation, 98%. The barometer is 2974. It is steady. The winds out of the northeast at 14 miles per hour. We have an occasional gust to 20 miles an hour. Well, our high is 37 degrees. It first came at 12:01 in the morning. It's also our present temperature reading. And our low is 36 degrees. So there's 1 degree difference between the high and the low. That 36 came at 1:39 this morning. Here's the latest picture from Action Radar now through the northern portion there of Pennsylvania, on up into New York State, on into New York City, even on up into New England. So that cold air with the snow to the north, the moisture continuing to push from the south. What does it mean for all of us? Well, for this evening, the call from AccuWeather is mostly rain. Snow and ice in the northern suburbs, 34 degrees the overnight low in the rain area, about down to 30 degrees for the northern portion of our viewing area, northern Bucks, Montgomery, and Chester counties, and on up into Lehigh Valley, where they could get 6 inches of snow. The Poconos could get 12 inches of snow, so the heavy snow well to the north. For tomorrow, Wednesday, we're going to post rain, ice, and snow. You take your pick. It depends on where you live. 34 degrees for the high. Again, the northern suburbs and the far northern suburbs are going to pick up some snow out of that situation. In between will be ice. It's about a 50-mile difference. We're right on the edge. Once we get through that, next 24-hour period, Thursday is going to be cold, a high of only 28 degrees, and then Friday, a high of only 24 degrees. So let's get rid of this current mess, wintry type mess, Rob, and then the cold air comes in. Stay with us. That's the very latest.
We'll do it, Dave. Thank you. The great cougar search continues.
And snow could get up around New York City and Long Island as we see some rain west of the snow mounting up in Massachusetts, and a big area of light snow east of the Rockies. So we've got it in all quadrants, as Wednesday is a snowy day in much of the nation.